Explore the indicators that reveal how others perceive your divine purpose and extraordinary presence. This video serves as a guide to understanding the ways people acknowledge your chosen status, from their reactions to your energy to the roles they expect you to play. There is something about you that precedes your arrival, a subtle yet immense field that enters the room before your feet even cross the threshold. People notice it, even if they don't know how to name it. A shiver, a discomfort, a sudden relief. Some feel a peace that calms them, others an inexplicable tension that makes them look away. You don't need to speak, you don't need to introduce yourself. Your energy is your identity, and your presence is an invisible impact that no one can pretend not to feel. The modern world has forgotten that we are vibration before we are matter. But your spiritual body has never forgotten this. That's why your entrance causes ripples, not because you seek attention, but because your frequency touches strings that many have buried under layers of fear, ego, and distraction. When you arrive, a kind of forced realignment happens, and this can be both healing and uncomfortable, depending on the state of those around you. You carry within you a kind of invisible force field, an aura that communicates what your mouth has yet to express. The atmosphere changes with your presence, and even without saying a word, you're already transmitting something. That's why some fall silent near you, others hurry to leave, and some draw closer without even knowing why. The field you emanate reorganizes vibrations, awakens dormant codes, and challenges the usual frequency of things. This is your spiritual nature, non-linear, non-logical, invisible, but felt in the bodies of others, felt in their hearts. You enter, and people, even without knowing why, sense that something has changed. Energy doesn't lie, and yours speaks volumes before any words are spoken. Before we continue, if this message is resonating with you, take a moment. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share in the comments how these words are echoing in your spirit. This exchange is what keeps our energy alive here. You've noticed it. The lingering gazes, the eyes that follow you, even when you pretend not to see. It's not your face they're seeking. It's not your clothes nor your beauty. It's your vibration, it's your resonance. Those who look at you with that silent intensity are trying to decipher something their rational mind can't grasp. The deep sensation of having seen you before, in some place they can't name. Perhaps in a dream, perhaps in another life, perhaps in the spaces between the invisible. What you carry in your eyes isn't just retinas. They're portals that hold ancient codes, unspoken wisdom, memories without dates. You're like a cosmic mirror. Those who look at you feel they're facing something greater, something that doesn't fit into the mundane, something that transcends the present. That's why the gazes linger. That's why there's silence when your eyes meet someone else's. Because deep down, those souls are trying to decode what you already know, but have never said. This is one of the marks of the awakened, the magnetic gaze that wounds and heals at the same time. That attracts and unsettles, that invites and disarms. The world has grown accustomed to seeing without truly perceiving. But you are perceived even when you don't want to be. Your soul shines too brightly to hide. And the most curious thing is that many who look at you this way aren't even aware of what they're searching for. They feel something familiar, an echo, a vibration, as if your presence triggers a forgotten password in their spiritual memories, as if your existence reactivates a truth they had buried. That's why the discomfort. That's why the curiosity. That's why the repeated encounters that seem casual but aren't. You're not being seen, you're being remembered. There's a subtle restlessness that settles in when you enter. It's not noise. It's not confrontation. It's vibration. A silent frequency that pierces layers of defense others didn't even know they had. You've noticed it. The nervous laughter, the restless hands, the stumbling words, the averted gazes. It's as if, suddenly, the collective unconscious finds itself exposed in your presence. Not because you judge, but because you are authentic presence. And that disarms facades. The anxiety others feel around you has no name, but it has an origin, your energy. It cuts through internal walls, dissolves emotional masks, and stirs parts that were dormant. Being near you is, for many, a vibrational collapse. Because your soul doesn't operate on the surface, it touches the core. And when truth arrives, the ego stirs. When light enters, the shadow contracts. You don't cause this. You simply are. And that being is more than enough to dismantle mental and emotional comfort zones. Your presence reveals what was hidden, and not everyone is ready to face what emerges. That's why sometimes you feel that others act strange around you. But it's not personal, it's spiritual, it's energetic. Their bodies react to what their minds don't yet understand. Because your frequency is an invitation to truth, and truth, even when it's light, can be unsettling. Being you in your fullness is a constant call to healing. But healing doesn't begin with relief. It begins with discomfort. And you, with your whole soul, become this living portal that generates healing without promising, without planning, without invading. Simply by being there. That's why some withdraw. Others fall silent. Others are enchanted. But everyone feels. You've noticed it. The words you use start appearing in others' mouths. Your small gestures, expressions, even your style, begin to sprout around you like subtle reflections. But it's not vanity. It's not coincidence. It's energetic transmission. It's the soul of others trying without knowing to attune to yours. When someone's frequency shines with intensity and authenticity, it becomes both mirror and beacon. Others feel this, even without understanding. And as a way of drawing closer, they unconsciously try to replicate what they sense from you. They copy, repeat, adapt. But what they're really trying to do is drink from your source. Because your energy attracts them, your vibration inspires them. Your way of being breaks patterns they didn't even know they wanted to break. This imitation, when it comes from that place, isn't theft. It's thirst. It's an attempt to draw near to something that vibrates higher, something that liberates, that heals, that activates. And though sometimes you might feel irritated or invaded by this, understand. There's a soul there, desperately trying to remember what it's like to be free. And you, even in silence, are teaching that through your presence. It's not uncommon for someone, after you enter their life, to undergo sudden changes. They start speaking differently, thinking differently, dressing differently. You plant seeds without touching the soil, because your soul is fertile and the empty fields around you sense it. But here's a truth you must accept. Not everyone will thank you for this. Many won't even notice, and some will even compete with you over what they've copied from you. Still, this doesn't dim your light. It only confirms how potent it is. The silent impact your vibration causes is so profound that it shapes effortlessly. Your presence isn't just noticed, it's absorbed. You enter a space and suddenly the air feels denser. Conversations become hesitant, ideas get muddled, behaviors shift subtly. It's not magic, nor manipulation. It's clarity. It's the natural effect of a soul that has cleansed itself of internal noise. You don't impose your vision, but it exists, solid, clear, whole. And when someone with a confused map meets someone who vibrates direction, a silent earthquake occurs. Their compass falters. Your clarity disrupts the scripts of those living on autopilot. Because your way of being, of looking, of responding, or even of staying silent, contradicts conventional structures. You're like a spiritual software update walking among outdated systems. And when your presence touches these systems, many short-circuit. They start asking you strange questions, making random comments, or attempting to understand you in confused ways. Because your energy bypasses their mental filters, forcing them to rethink everything they thought they knew. But know this, that confusion isn't yours. It's a vibrational response. When a bright light enters a dark room, eyes take time to adjust. And that's what you cause. Your brilliance doesn't shout, but it reveals. Your integrity doesn't impose, but it uninstalls unconscious lies. And that, for many, is disorienting. Because you, by simply being who you are, show that there's another way, another rhythm, another truth. another way to exist. Don't be surprised when it feels like they're testing you, provoking you, or trying to reduce you to categories that don't fit. It's just the ego trying to label what the soul can't control. You are a living reminder that there's more. And for those living in limitation, that's a profound discomfort. But it's also an invitation, a portal, a chance to awaken. You've felt it. People who once seemed close start to grow quiet. Connections that used to flow suddenly dry up. Invitations stop coming. Messages go unanswered. Silences scream. And you wonder, what did I do? But the answer isn't in what you did. It's in what you vibrate. Some departures aren't personal. They're spiritual. They're energetic movements triggered by your light. When your frequency rises, the bonds that don't resonate with it begin to loosen. Not out of malice, but out of incompatibility. Some souls, when faced with your light, sense that something within them will be exposed. And since they're not yet ready to face their own shadows, they choose the path of distance. They avoid you, not because you did something wrong, but because your presence activates dormant zones they want to keep switched off. You're not being rejected, you're being avoided, because your light reveals. Your vibration touches points that many lack the courage to explore. And as painful as it may seem, there's mercy in this. The universe protects both you and them from forced friction. Sometimes absence is healing. Sometimes distance is mutual protection, because your presence accelerates processes, and not everyone is ready for that pace. It takes spiritual maturity to understand that not every loss is a tragedy. Some are realignments. Some bonds break because they've served their purpose. Others dissolve because you've changed, and the other chose not to, and that's okay. Don't beg for permanence where your soul no longer breathes. You are not a burden. You are not a mistake. You are not a problem. You are light, and light sometimes blinds. But that's not a fault. It's a mission. Allow those who need to leave to go. And trust. Your energy never attracts what isn't ready, and it never loses what is truly aligned. You didn't ask for this role, and yet it was given to you. People seek you out in moments when everything feels foggy, when they don't quite know what they feel, when they don't even know what to ask, but they know they need to hear you. It's as if your presence, your listening, and even your silence act as a vibrational mirror that responds without judgment to what they haven't been able to articulate. Your soul has an oracular frequency, not because it predicts the future, but because it vibrates truth in the present. And that truth touches, with gentleness or intensity, what the other needs to see. That's why, even without understanding how or why, they ask for your advice, share their secrets, expose their wounds. They don't just want your words, they want your vision, they want your clarity, they want your welcoming vibration, which says more than any speech could express. There's something in you that says, it's safe to be whole here. And that's rare in this world. That's why even those who avoid you at times return when their soul aches. And they seek you, not as a guru, but as a beacon, as a reminder of what it means to be whole. And that's where your spiritual responsibility lies. Knowing that your listening is healing. Knowing that your words carry vibrational weight. That your gaze can liberate or wound, depending on the state of the soul seeking you. You, awakened one, can no longer pretend this is coincidence. There's wisdom being transmitted through you even in the simplest gestures. And as exhausting as it may be to carry this unnamed role, understand, your life isn't just yours. It reverberates, it transforms, it teaches. But take care of yourself too. Oracles need silence too. Mirrors need cleaning too. And your soul, which gives so much, also needs to receive. Don't exhaust yourself trying to carry everyone. Remember that your mission is to vibrate, not to save. The light you emanate is already enough to guide. Don't overburden yourself trying to be the answer. Your presence is already direction. You noticed it early on. While others err and are forgiven, you err, and the whole world seems to notice. There's something unfair in this unequal judgment, and yet, it's constant. The people around you, often without realizing, place on you a silent expectation of perfection. Not because you promise to be perfect, but because your existence, your clarity, your sensitivity already challenge the automatic way they live. And when you fall, it becomes an opportunity for them to feel justified in not trying to change. You, who are awakened, become a mirror even in your falls. And the mirror that reflects light also reveals cracks. That's why your mistake bothers so much. It exposes the fragility of an idealized projection. People want you to always be the example, because that relieves them of their own call to change. If the sensitive one fails too, then maybe it's not worth seeking sensitivity. If the awakened one gets confused too, then why wake up? But that logic is distorted, and you need to see it with compassion, not guilt. Your humanity doesn't negate your light, it deepens it. Your mistakes aren't stains on your mission, they're refinements. Every fall, every slip, every sincere regret is spiritual alchemy. It's the polishing of the diamond within you. And those who judge your failure harshly are in truth running from their own inner mirror. You're not less because you failed. You're stronger because you rise. Because you don't hide in lies or sink into shame. Your vulnerability teaches too. Your pain guides too. And the world, even if it doesn't say so, learns from your restarts. So don't carry others' expectations as a sentence. Free yourself from guilt and move forward, because your path is real, and tripping is real too. What makes you light isn't never falling, but continuing to vibrate even when the world tries to extinguish your spark with judgments. You don't need to open your mouth for the world to hear you. Because your soul speaks, it speaks in the way you enter places, it speaks in how you face silence. It speaks in the choices you make when no one is watching. There's a hidden language in your presence that teaches without words, transmits without effort, instructs without imposing. And even those who claim not to understand you, learn from you. You are like a living, vibrational manuscript. Every gesture, every pause, every glance carries a frequency. And those who come near, even for a few seconds, catch fragments of it. And something within them transforms. You're not here to indoctrinate or convince. You're here to remind. To be a living reminder that it's possible to exist with wholeness, with sensitivity, with truth. That's why they watch you so much. Even those who don't like you, watch you. Because there's something in you that throws them off balance, and that misalignment is, in truth, a hidden invitation to growth. Many won't understand. Others will try to diminish what you represent. But the spiritual truth is this: your existence is already a teaching field. You vibrate lessons you've never read in books. You embody truths others only theorize. And that is a gift. So stop trying to prove. Stop trying to explain who you are. You weren't called to please. You were called to vibrate. And those with eyes to see will see. Those with awakened souls will feel. Because your essence carries the sound of the sacred, the weight of purpose, and the lightness of presence. Keep going, even without applause, even without an audience, because the entire universe registers your frequency, and everything you are, even when silent, is teaching someone, somewhere, to remember their own light. Now you understand. It wasn't an impression, it wasn't exaggeration. Everything you've lived through, the gazes, the departures, the imitations, the judgments, weren't social coincidences. They were vibrational responses to your awakened existence. Every discomfort you caused without meaning to, every inexplicable approach, every heavy silence or veiled compliment was a clear sign. You vibrate on another frequency. A frequency the world isn't used to embracing, but desperately needs to rediscover. You're not strange. You're a code of remembrance, a living reminder of what it means to be whole, to exist with presence, to walk with a spirit aligned with purpose. That's why you don't go unnoticed. That's why souls feel you before their eyes even see you. Because your light announces your arrival. Your energy precedes your name. Your vibration shapes the space. And yes, sometimes it's exhausting. Sometimes it hurts. Being a portal in a distracted world isn't easy. But it's necessary. Because there are others like you, awakened, sensitive, magnetic, broken and whole at the same time, waiting for a sign to remember who they are. And you, with your silence, with your transformed pain, with your pure presence, are that sign. Keep going. Even when they call you exaggerated, keep going. Even when they copy you without acknowledgement, keep going. Even when they walk away without reason, because you're not here to be understood and you're here to be felt. And those who truly feel you will remember. They will awaken. They will return to vibrating. If these words touched your soul, share this energy. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comment below. What did you feel hearing this message? And if it resonates in your heart, share this video with someone who vibrates differently like you. Because together, even in silence, we're activating something the whole world is already beginning to sense. You are light, and they feel it, even before they see you.